I had a hard thing I had to do, which I'll tell you once because I realize you're recording, so I'm not gonna.
Who knows? It could have been something good. That's why I got to click recording.
Oh, you know when you've got a moral quandary, and I might be like, do I say something or do I not say something? You can attach it to whatever. I had one of those, and I made the right decision. I made the right decision in my heart, which was the right decision for my heart, but less beneficial for me overall. But it was the right thing to do, and I'm proud of myself for doing the right things. So.
I see. A work-related moral quandary?
Oh, pretty much, yeah. I'll tell you about it later if you're interested. I really got to blow my nose, dude.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna go off the camera for it.
Yeah, that's fine. I just took some lines before this party as well.
Just talk amongst yourself.
Okay, talk amongst ourselves. It's just me here. So for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, you might notice that one side of my face is a bit swollen. It's because I had wisdom tooth surgery recently. That's why I got a little bit of a growth right here. But
oh yeah, you do. How did your surgery go?
It was successful, but the swelling is natural. It's gone down. It used to be like out here. It was pretty intense, but
I like it. It broadens your draw. It makes you look like you're chewing tobacco.
Yeah, like just on this side. If I'm directly on, oh yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, makes my face look a bit fuller.
I should start chewing tobacco.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Have you tried snus?
I tried snoo. Is that what you're talking about?
No, snus. Let us know in the comments if you've tried snus.
What the hell is snus?
It's a little nicotine bag you put up in your gum, and it burns like a motherfucker.
Sounds pleasant.
Yeah, they're strong, but they're really not pleasant. I don't like them.
Okay. So, what's the purpose of it? Is it just to get the nicotine fix?
Pretty much, yeah. So you're not smoking, you're not vaping, you're not gumming, you're not patching, you're not pussy
Sounds like you are gumming. It sounds like you are gumming. You're putting this little snoo bag in your gums, right?
You're not chewing gumming gum. This is a gumming, and that's chewing gum.
Yeah,
nicotine chewing gum. Which I wonder if you smoke nicotine chewing gum, if you could get a nicotine fix. Let us know in the comments if you have ever tried it. Don't try it. It's not advice.
Wait, smoking the nicotine gum?
Why not? Just crush that bitch.
Yeah, like
I was gonna say, crush that bitch, and then roll it into a cigarette with tobacco. But I realized that would defeat the purpose. You just have to smoke pure gum. You need a lot of gum.
You surely got to mix it with something like, oregano, maybe.
Oh,
mint, actually, mint. That because it's gum, right?
That would be so unpleasurable.
Get some fresh mint. Welcome to another episode of Just the Tip. I'm your host this week, Matt Petropoulos, because our usual host, Mike, is on holiday. He's in Vietnam. Shout out to Mike. Don't know if he watches these episodes, but shout out to him.
He is about 15 kilometers away at the moment. Very doable for him to have come here for this. And very quick for him to throw a dagger at my reasonings for being late when he's not here himself. So if you watch this, Mike, go fuck yourself. You got a problem with it, you know where to find me.
Yeah, well, you were late, but mind you did have a moral quandary. So I think that's a fair reason to be late.
Thank you. See, somebody that actually can understand something from another perspective. I like that.
Like if you in the group chat said, hey guys, sorry, I'm going to be late. I'm currently going through a moral quandary. I'd be like, ooh, that sounds serious. No worries. But what you did was 2 minutes before we're supposed to start recording, you say, sorry, dude, I'm going to be half an hour late. Like I just put on my Vietnam holiday shirt. I sat down. I'm like, all right, here we go. Got all my tabs open. And then I'm half an hour late. You know what I mean? Just tell me you got a moral quandary.
Yeah. But it's more of an inconvenience to me having to get home, rush everything, than it is for you to be like, oh, well, now I need to occupy myself for X time. You're already there, you just baish.
Yeah, nah, man. That's okay. Listen. I'm the kind of guy I like being on time, you know. So, but
You're
that's
right,
okay.
you're right.
You had a moral quandary, and I forgive you. I tell you what. Once again, Benjamin, we are at the start of the NRL tipping season for
Hold on,
our group of friends.
before you move on, can I just add something to your point? You were
Of course.
right. And I heard my uncle taught me a really good expression when I saw him a few weeks ago. And he said he was late for things all the time when he was younger. And he once got to a meeting late with somebody, and the guy said to him, "You know why you don't value my time? Because you don't value your own time."
Ooh, that's a good line.
And I was like, that's a good line. I'm gonna keep that one. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
So
a
yeah,
nice little nugget.
every time I'm late, not only is it a devaluation of somebody else's time, also my own.
It's a very good point. Very good point. I tell you what, thank you for bringing that nugget of wisdom to this episode. I feel like this episode is going to be spiritual or philosophical in a way.
Can we start with a
And
quick unphilosophical hypothetical? Would you rather lick your own dirty asshole or
Yep.
a random asshole presented to you that is 100% disinfected, cleaned, like recently fecaled? It's all been hydrated and but it could be an old man, it could be anybody on the planet. Hell, it could be a family member.
yeah, I
But
tell you what,
your butthole is so dirty, dude. You've been like at a music festival for like almost a
okay.
week.
It's like several days of grime.
You have so much bits of brown toilet paper balls like glued around your asshole hair that is just like, woof.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. I tell you what, Ben, this is a fantastic question. I thank you for asking it.
1 minute rimming, by the way, just to clarify.
It's a 1 minute rim. That's going to be my follow up question. Is how what's the extension of the
I
of the rimming?
anticipated that.
The length of the rimming. Okay, so 1 minute rimming of myself with 1 week of grime going through hell, versus one randomly chosen person on the planet, pure and clean.
Pure.
Yeah, I'm going to take the random.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to take the random because there's a 50% chance it's going to be a lady.
That's true.
And it's pure and clean. I like those odds. Whereas licking my own asshole after 1 week of hell, that's a lose. That's a straight up lose.
Man, there needs to be like a random person in the world generator app where you click somebody and this comes up where it's like Heather McGilbert from Kentucky or something. You are the random butthole.
Yeah, that would be really good if there was a random person generator where you actually just click a button and you just see someone come up.
Yeah, well, you know how people give you that thing like, blah, blah, blah. It might be a follow-up to something, but I'd be like, would you kill somebody, but you don't even know them? It could be, somebody in another country. It's like, okay, this is a way to be like, yep, you just killed Chris from Florida.
Well, you've changed it to the killing button. I know the killing button, but I want to just get the stats on a random person. Just hit the button and you get the stats on just a random person on the face of the planet. Like age, where they are, name, occupation, maybe three, like a tight three interesting things about this person. That'd be great. I'd hit that button every day.
Man, what would be like the most randomest interest somebody could have?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like Hmong historian. Like recording the greatest Hmongs of all time.
What about some guys just like fascinated with collecting keys? And he's just got like millions of just keys.
I need you to center yourself on the screen here. You're drifting away. Yeah, keys. But I'd honestly like to hear about the most historical Hmongs personally.
What do you collect anything?
Oh, Do I collect anything? Records, probably. That's the main thing. Yeah. Also,
I
great
didn't know you had a
memories.
record
I
collection.
collect those too.
No, records is something. So, like, does it matter to you the number of records that you have? Like,
No.
if you had to get rid of some of them, you wouldn't be like, oh, now I've got less than I did. But I did have a lot. I did, I had
Yeah,
more. Some of them.
I collect the records not really just to like have a lot of records. So like, ooh, look at my collection. Just because I like having them and I like being able to listen to them.
Are they an
That's really about it.
investment?
No, not an investment for me at all. I don't give a fuck about what they're worth. I'm gonna play them all to the dirt. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna keep them in the plastic wrapping and never play it. I play them all. I don't give a fuck. And then when I die, either I'll give them to a family member or they'll sell it in a garage sale, and then they'll be rich. Who knows?
Man,
Well, I tell you what, Ben, we should probably start talking about rugby league.
I was gonna start bringing in container bidding wars. So that's a whole separate tangent.
Yeah.
Maybe let's get to the footy.
Yeah, I tell you what. As I was saying earlier, once again, Benjamin, you are starting this year hot. You are on top of the tipping ladder. You got, I believe, 5 tips correct. The only ones you didn't get correct, I believe, were the Warriors. The Sharks won that match. The Raiders beat the Knights. That was an upset as well. And what was the other one? It was the Cowboys beat the Dolphins. You had tipped the Dolphins, but apart from that, you did very well. You tipped the Dragons.
The other ones, yeah, the other 2 I accept fairly. Like I tipped the team I thought was going to win. I said from last time that that in Doi was going to be a fucking stick in the spokes. Fucking. Yeah, it got me. Well, and I figured this year, trying to work out who my bogey team's going to be. Who do you think your bogey team's going to be?
Ooh, bogey team this year?
The one you just can't tip.
It could be the Warriors, for me, because I do expect them to finish top 4, but they may end up faltering, you know what I mean? Generally, that's what happens. It's, someone that you got this idea in your mind about what the kind of team they are, and then they don't live up, and then at a certain point you're like, fuck, I'll give up on this team, they're shit, and then they start winning. That's usually what happens, right, with a bogey team.
Yeah, it's kind of like my stock trading. Just got to get the time. You see the correlation?
No, I don't. I'm not a correlator, man. I'm a tipper. I don't know, man. I'm a navigator of life. Well, I tell you what, there's a bit of NRL news to get through, and obviously the biggest topic of the week, dominating the headlines, is Spencer Leniu, who has been banned for 8 weeks after pleading guilty to his racial slur directed towards Ezra Mann. So there's some bit more details. So they had the judiciary this week. I'm not sure if you read any of it, Ben, but apparently the incident happened in, I think it was the 68th minute of the Broncos and Roosters game, when Spencer tackled Haas and was obviously getting up to get back in the defensive line. Mann said something like, "Run it back at Spencer," to which Spencer replied with something along the lines of, "Fuck up, you monkey." Now, he's pled guilty to saying it, claims he doesn't know how offensive it was to the Indigenous community. Now he claims that he's been educated a little bit more. Says he wanted to fly to Brisbane to meet Ezra to apologize, but Ezra has declined. I think, obviously, last week you and I, we had differing opinions on it.
I just can't wait till they face each other on the footy field next.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, mind you, if the two ran at each other, like, Spencer's winning that every day of the week, unless Ezra's got the speed, obviously. But I know we had differing opinions on it. I feel like he fucked up and he's taken his...
He did fuck up. He did fuck up. And I've thought about it more, and I want to sort of recalibrate my view on it. Completely in the wrong. I am curious to know, if it hadn't happened in the moment and then there wasn't all the pressure from the other players and stuff, if he'd had time to cool off after the game, if he was going to complain after the game or not. Because if you'd listen to the recording, the referee's first initial reaction is, come on, let it go, let it go. And then he goes, yeah, but he called me blah, blah, blah. He goes, do you want to make a formal complaint? He goes, yeah, I do, right? And then that's when he had to stop the game and
That
start.
was in the moment.
The first thing that the referee said was, let it go, right? It gave him the opportunity to decide. He could have been like, all right, we'll deal with it after the game and get on with the footy. But it stopped the game. It became a thing. I'm just curious if the game had gone down, if it still would have been such a big thing. That's all, you know. And I don't agree with it in any capacity. There's no room for that in the game.
Yeah. Well, you gotta take your, and listen, I get it, because you're a hardcore Roosters fan, and that means, you know, one of your star recruits is now suspended for 8 weeks.
I want to see what he does.
I understand your point of view on this, but he fucked up. He's copped his punishment on the chin, which I like. And he's going to serve his time, and hopefully learns his lesson.
Eight's harsh. I reckon like maybe a 2 week.
I think it has to be unfortunate. I think it has to be harsh.
Well, you just want him to set an example of him.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it's. You gotta, because I'm sure it's not the first time that's happened in recent times, and some guys maybe don't complain about it, and that just keeps happening. Listen, these footy players, they are very talented. They're successful, but a lot of them are just dumb as fuck and haven't been, maybe they've been raised with a lot of casual racism in their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyways, so shout out to Ezra.
All I know is that we lost a good player.
Yes, certainly. Spencer is going to be missing for you guys, but you got Jeremy Hargraves back. We'll get to that later. There's a little other NRL news I want to touch on. Now, have you heard what's happening with Zac Lomax at the Dragons?
No, but I hope they've. Every time I hear his name, I think that is the perfect condom brand.
Zac Lomax? Yeah, it's actually a good porn. I like a good porn star name, don't you think?
Yeah.
Lomax. So rumors are that Zac Lomax is not happy about playing wing for the Dragons. He's on reportedly $800,000 a year. He played extremely well against the Titans from that position. Jack Bird's replaced him at center this year so far, but reports that the Dragons have denied his request from Parramatta, I should say, to start negotiations with him. He's still got 2 years to go. I don't know, maybe mid-20s or so, it would be my guess. If you were the Dragons and you had Zac Lomax who's saying, I don't want to be playing on the wing, would you let him negotiate with the clubs? Would you say fuck off, or would you say no, so you stay here, you do your job?
I'd say that that's already an attitude. Like, you're having an attitude. If you don't like it, leave. And you're implying that it's a shit position and you're better than that. And somebody's going to fill that position. And everybody on the field has value, equal value in the moments they're needed. Maybe not overall, but in the moments each specialization is required, they're the most valuable position on the field. So I think it's an insult. It's an insult to their dog shit jersey.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. I agree. I think, yeah, just keep him, because, you know, you never know who Jack Bird gets injured, then all of a sudden you need Zac Lomax back in your centers. I think maybe he's just thinking that the Dragons are just maybe a shit team, and he's using this as a bit of a scapegoat to go to Parramatta, who are arguably a better team. I don't think a grand final team, but arguably better.
As I look at his stats, how are his stats? The old worms.
His stats, I mean, he's a decent player. I mean, his stats are generally good. I know he used to make a lot of errors, like a lot of ball handling errors, but I'm not sure if that's still the case. But he's generally good.
Would you rank him in the top 30 players?
Of all the players? No. God, no.
50?
Would I rank him in the top 10 centers? Maybe. He might be top 10 center.
That's like 60 or 70% of the pool already. Top 10 out of 17.
No, top 10 centers. So just centers, like, you know, your Joey Manu's, your Herbie Farnworths, your Tony Staggs. I think he's probably top 10 there.
Oh yeah. How many centers are there? Because you've got two.
Two on each team.
And then you've got
17 teams.
And then you've probably
34.
got an extra couple that can play center as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I would say he is a smidge above average.
Okay, smidge. Yeah, I think that's fair. Speaking of centers, by the way, the other piece of NRL news I want to talk to you about, which you might find interesting, is reports are the Roosters are working overtime to get Joseph Sua'ali'i out of his deal to go to rugby union. And this is obviously after Joey Manu announced that he's going to French rugby. Now, obviously, you got James Tedesco as your fullback. He's not getting any younger. Right now, your centers are Sua'ali'i and Manu. Both are going out the door. If you could keep either Joseph Manu, who's 27 years old, or Joseph Sua'ali'i, who's 20 years old, which one would you keep?
What, for to be a one-team man?
Well, like, listen, one of these two players, you're losing to rugby in this hypothetical. They're going to rugby, not coming back. You get to keep one of the Roosters. As a Roosters fan, who do you want to keep? Are you like invest in the young gun or keep the current big hog in the team?
Yeah, because I think you can squeeze another good 4 years out of him.
Manu, that is?
Yeah.
All right, keep it in Manu, then slowly go. Yeah, all right. I think that's fair. So you're going for the Prems. You want the Prems now?
Man, you're just picking the most upsetting topics for me. Can we talk about like war or something?
War? No. Mike's not here, man. We can't talk about war. I don't know shit about war, man. Guns and shit. I don't know, man. 9/11. Hey, I tell you what. Do you want to tip?
9/11 episode title? Do not.
Do you want to tip?
Oh yeah, fuck, that's what we're here for. Yeah, I'm gonna have a sip of drink.
All right.
What are you drinking tonight?
Just water. I ran out of wine last night. Haven't been out of the bottle yet. So, first game of the week, and we've got all of our games in one weekend, which is back to normal. First game of the week is the Broncos hosting the Rabbitohs at Suncorp Stadium. This is on Thursday night. Both of these teams lost in Las Vegas, as we know. Probably disappointing for different reasons.
Yeah, one of them's going to lose 2 in a row.
And one of them is going to lose 2 in a row. Two, arguably top 8 teams here. For the Broncos, Brendan Piakura, he's been named to play despite getting an HIA in that first game. Also, Adam Reynolds, named to play despite getting a knee injury concern sort of thing. He's always like slightly injured, Adam Reynolds. For the Rabbitohs, though, they lose Jai Arrow to, I believe, a shoulder injury. So Tallis Duncan replaces him on the edge. This is it could go either way, but I've got a pretty certain feeling about this.
South now?
Oh, he's played against them a few times, I think. Adam Reynolds.
How does he go against them? How's their record since he's been
I don't recall. I haven't looked at their recent record, but who are you feeling in this game, Benjamin?
Well, which team do you reckon Vegas took the most out of?
Ooh, good question. My first immediate thought is Broncos, because I would say they are arguably more disappointing than the Rabbitohs were disappointing. I thought the Roosters were really good in that game, but the Broncos looked just like a bit of a rabble, and Adam Reynolds' kicking game was really bad at the end of that game.
Yeah, I can see that. So a bounce back?
I'm feeling a bounce back. I, myself, am backing the home team, the Broncos, to get a win here. I've got them winning by 6 points. I've also got Mike's tips this week. He messaged them to me. He's also on the Broncos. What are you feeling?
Mike.
Well, right?
Well, at least
we have
we have a 100% foreskin deficit. It's a foreskinless show.
Yeah, this is a 100% cut.
Yeah, Cirque Naish.
Yeah, Cirque Naish, baby. How do you spell Naish?
Naish.
Okay. Just potential episode titles here. So Broncos or Rabbitohs, Benjamin? You're thinking deep and hard on this.
Yeah, Broncos. Put me in for the Broncos. That's not a risk. I don't need to go like that. I don't need to be risky like that. Broncos.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's safe. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mhm.
So game
Number
2.
one.
Game 2, the Friday afternoon game, will be the Cronulla Sharks hosting the Bulldogs at PointsBet Stadium.
Okay.
For Cronulla, they upset the Warriors in round 1. No changes to their side. Meanwhile, for the Bulldogs, they've lost Addo Carr to injury. So they've got Connor Tracy coming onto the wing. Bronson Sherry is named 18th man, inching a little bit closer to his NRL day return, I should say. For me personally, Sharks are really good. I still think the Dogs get the wooden spoon. That's my prediction at the start of the year. There's a universe where the Bulldogs win this game, but it's not this universe. So I say Sharks win by, I'd say 10. I don't think they're blow them out of the water. I'll give Bulldogs some respect here. 10 points for me. Mike also has the Sharks by winning by 12 specifically. By the way, this is the only game Mike specified the exact winning margin. I think it's because of our margin game. He's got it by 12. Ben, is it a easy tip for you this week?
Yeah, I'm on the same. Should be an easy win for the Sharks. They seem to get most of the shit teams. And my margin is 13.
13. Okay, like it. Heinous field goal.
Juicy,
wet hair, just slightly moving in the breeze. Yeah. Listen, game 3. Now we go from one game which is easy to tip and doesn't require much thought to another game which I think does warrant a bit of thought, and that is the Panthers hosting the Parramatta Eels at Bluebet Stadium.
Yeah,
Friday night.
You gotta waste precious brain energy on a hard to tip game with shit teams.
You mean the Panthers and the Eels? Panthers is the 3-time champs. I wouldn't call them a shit team.
Oh, sorry. Oh man, I thought you were going to Raiders, West Tigers.
No, you've skipped ahead. This is Panthers and Eels.
Yeah.
So obviously the Panthers are the 3-time champs. We know this to be true, but they've lost in round 1 to the Storm. They were always going to, because the Storm never lose round 1. They lost to Wigan in the World Club Challenge, and Parramatta Eels have actually won 2 straight games against.
Yeah, they've got a good record. Hey,
they have a good record
before too. I think I've tipped one of those.
Yeah. So Eels smashed the Bulldogs last week. They had the same 17. Panthers get Mitch Kenny and Scott Sorensen back, so that's good for them. Your immediate thoughts on this one, Ben?
The Eels, do they play each other twice this year?
Not sure. Haven't checked the schedule that far ahead.
We need a stats guy. We need a guy that can just yell shit out to. Bring us food, drinks, give us stats.
Stats and snacks.
Stats and snacks expert. And they should actually be beautiful women in bikinis too.
Yes.
Yeah. Why get some just like fucking Gary to come in and be like, hi.
Yeah.
You want some stats?
No, yeah, we want an Instagram model who is a rugby league stats savant and also a connoisseur of snacks. Triple threat.
Oh man. Oh dude. Were you on
I can always tell when you're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, you're right. I'll come back. What were we talking about?
No, was it going to be good? It's
worth giving up.
Okay, it's worth giving up. Okay, good to know. Panthers Eels. Who's winning this game?
I got the Cats.
The Cats. Yep. Do you think it'll be close? Do you think it'll be a close game?
I don't think it'll be close.
Ooh, a smashing.
Yeah, but I think if they play a second time this year, Eels will win.
Okay, gotcha.
I think money on the second game if you're a sports fan.
Yeah,
it's not financial.
I think that this is a danger game. I am also tipping the Penrith Panthers because I think they are due a bounce back eventually. But I think this is like if Parramatta win, it'll be the game I say to myself, I should have known. Of course, the Eels beat the Panthers. No, you know what I mean?
Too premature. It happens around Origin.
Okay. So I've got the Panthers winning by 2 points this one. Close game. Mike also has the Panthers.
We'll see this.
Moving along to game number 4. So this is the start of
Have
Super
a
Saturday.
punt. Have a fucking punt,
You tell me to punt on the Eels? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, have a punt. There's something itching at you. Listen to that inner voice. Have a punt.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've successfully tipped Parramatta a couple times now last year, but just something about this game. I'm feeling the Nathan Cleary Dally M juices flowing this year.
Then why have a 2-point margin? Why don't you back yourself on a larger margin?
I just think it'll be tight.
Well, for me, if Panthers win by 2 points, it's basically like a draw because at that point it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, I don't know, but if I had to choose this one. If you think they're going to win, well, then the score should reflect that, right?
Are you telling me like any margin below 6 points is a draw? These are the new rules under Benny's like dictatorship of the NRL?
No, 6 points is a win. Good win is a close win. I'd say.
At what point is it 2 points is a draw?
Okay, here's the difference is that if you win, because I win, if you win by 1 point, that's a fair win. If you win by 2 points,
that's a draw.
It could have gone either way. It's a draw. And if you win from above, if you win from 3 and above, that's a fair win. So the winning margin by 2 is the only margin
it's a draw.
Where it was a draw.
Okay.
Do you see my logic?
No, I don't.
Because to get the field goal, you've had to make something happen, right?
Yeah. You're saying 2 points is just like a missed conversion.
It's just a misconversion. Well,
blame your goal kicker because that's why you lost.
Well, that's why we pay him the big bucks, don't we?
That's why they make their money. Fourth game of the week is the Canberra Raiders hosting the Tigers, who get their first game of the year. They had the bye in round 1. So this is down in Canberra. Now, for the Raiders, they got a big win over the Knights in round 1. Just one change. Seb Chris comes back from suspension into the centers, I believe. But for the Tigers, now they've made a big call in their team. So they had signed Aiden Caesar to come back from the Super League. Everyone thought he was going to play in the halves. He's been named on the bench, and they've got NRL debutant Lachlan Galvin, who's apparently some boom young rookie, lining up alongside Jaden Sullivan, who's not very experienced. That gives them an extremely inexperienced halves pairing. They've also got a fellow called Solomona Fa'atape debuting at center. So
he might galvanize himself as a club legend.
Hey, see what you did there. So I hope Lachlan Galvin goes well. But I mean, for me personally, Raiders are impressive in round 1. The Tigers haven't got warmed up yet. I think there's going to be a lack of match fitness.
They need a lot of ball tickling, the old Tigers.
They've also got rookie halves. So I've got the Raiders winning at home by about 10 points. Mike agrees with me. What are you feeling in this one? Do you think the Tigers can get a win?
No, not this week. They need to get primed. They need some reach arounding. They need a bit of fondling, sort of.
Yeah. They need a motherly fondle.
One of these ones. Or...
Yeah, a supportive grasping.
Yeah,
a cupping. Yeah, at least just a cup. You don't have to really get in. Just like, listen, I'm here for you.
I'm predicting Tigers at one point in the season. Yeah, a 3 or 4, maybe a 5-game winning streak, and everyone's like, oh, and then oh.
Yeah, are you saying it'll happen too late in the season, or give people a bit of hope of finals? Oh, okay. See ya. So it's just me here. I don't know if they'll win 4 or 5 games in a row.
I thought we had another one of those moments from last season.
Oh, really? Did someone give you the old knock? No, false alarm.
False alarm, boys. Let's continue.
Let's continue. Okay, so we have got the next game, which is the Cowboys hosting the Newcastle Knights at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. I think this is a tough one to tip because, Newcastle finished finals last year, but they got upset by Canberra in round one. Meanwhile, the Cowboys smashed the Dolphins. I think they put on 43 points or something like that.
You said country.
Country, did I? Well, that's just how I say it.
What do we got? Cowboys Knights. Okay.
Cowboys Knights, Ben. Now, what are your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions while you look at this matchup in front of us?
So the Knights, just remind me, lost to the Sharks, yeah?
The Knights lost to the Raiders.
Raiders last week, sorry. I know they lost. Fuck. The Cowboys.
You're tipping Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Is it the home field advantage thing, or is it the fact that
I don't know. I don't know. No, Cowboys by 2 points, like what I did there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think the fact that Newcastle, I've tipped Newcastle to not make the 8 this year. I think they regress a little bit. They were stunned by the Raiders. Now they have to fly to North Queensland, which is, no one wants to go that far into Queensland. And they've actually lost their past 2 games against the Cowboys at that stadium. So
can't even swim up there. There's stingers in the water.
Yeah, no way. I like the Cowboys to win as well. I've got them winning by 10 points. Meanwhile, our dear friend Michael Hargraves is tipping the Newcastle Knights. He is a known Knights supporter, Tyson Gamble apologist, so that's not surprising.
Yeah. I like Tyson Gamble. He's got that cheeky mongrel sort of.
Yeah. He's a cunt. But that's
right.
That's what they need. That's what they need in their team.
Yeah. Too many Tyson Gambles are toxic.
Yeah.
That's a toss gamble.
I think 1 is a good amount.
Yeah.
I've said this before, like Tyson Gamble's the kind of guy you want on your footy team, but you don't want in your friendship circle.
Yeah, you've told me you're the guy you don't want to be out drinking with him when he's in a fighting mood.
Yeah, you don't want to be at a party with him because you know he's going to cause some shit. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, now I can't have fun because I have to contain some situation caused by Tyson.
Yeah. Tyson just...
Yeah, I don't want to have to work when I'm partying. You know what I mean? So
we're just trying to have a good time. You're intentionally pouring beer on the fucking couch. You're annoying people. You grab my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, punching clocks on the wall, that type of shit.
Yeah, Mike, love him. I'm going to tip the Doys. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Doys and give those fucking North Queensland supporters a little bit of a cheery spirit this week in the shout out to North Queensland. Hard workers up there. Like them.
I'm not going to shout them out.
Great people, hard workers.
The final game of Super Saturday is a bit of a banger, to be honest. It's the Melbourne Storm hosting the New Zealand Warriors. Now, the Storm, they've got their win.
People are only true Queenslanders, dude.
They might be.
Because they're so far from New South Wales and any other state that they're definitely Queensland. Whereas we're just like Brisbane is like just a slightly less refined Melbourne or Sydney.
Gold Coast is basically New South Wales.
Yeah.
Go the Blues. The final game of Super Saturday is a bit of a banger, as I said earlier. It's the Melbourne Storm hosting the New Zealand Warriors at Amy Park. Now, is this a cut and dry tip for you, or is this a tough one?
It was until you've just positioned it like that.
Can I list some information to you about this game?
Yeah, so this game last year, the Warriors won the first game between the two in Melbourne. Sorry, where was it? No, I don't know. I'll take that back.
So
you tell me.
In fact, the Melbourne Storm have won 14 straight NRL regular season games against New Zealand.
Wow.
14 straight. So
no.
the last time the Warriors beat the Storm, according to my research, was in 2015.
Well, these stats are wrong because I clicked stats on our tipping page and it said to me, so previous meetings, Melbourne 30 to 22, then Melbourne 12 to 24, and then Melbourne 70 to 10. I remember the 70 to 10.
Mm.
So what's this cheeky one here where saying that the Warriors beat them 24 to 12?
Not sure. It might be a preseason match.
Did they play preseason?
I don't recall them breaking the streak, but I could be corrected. Rugby league history, I'm sure you know the answer. Mind you, regardless, Cameron Munster is nowhere to be seen for the Storm. He's not playing this game. He's got a groin issue. The Warriors are unchanged, despite having a few players cop a couple injuries. My personal opinion, if my research is correct and the Warriors have not beaten the Storm for 14 straight games, you know your boy loves a streak. In which case, I say the Storm win this one by 4 points. But I would prefer if the Warriors won personally. Mike is also tipping the Storm. Benjamin.
You're right, actually. RL history would definitely be the guy to ask because he knows all the history.
Rugby league history knows his history. Get down in the comments. Tell us who is correct. Your tip, Benjamin, your tip. What we are here for.
Collapsed sphincter.
Collapsed sphincters.
What are we talking? Yeah.
Storm Warriors.
Man, go the Storm because even if that streak was broken, it's still a good streak.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical streak at this stage because you've put doubt in my mind. You've shown me this app. So, all right, we're all in the Storm. Let's move on. But would I like to see the Warriors win? Yeah, I would. I really like that. So this is, I would say, in my opinion, I think the toughest game to tip this weekend. So the Sunday game, Sea Eagles, Roosters at 4 Pines Park. You're the Roosters man here, Benjamin. Do you have any thoughts, feelings? Condolences?
No, Roosters win well.
Roosters win and win well. Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you not take into account Manly's stunning flashing form in round one?
Yeah, that's true. And I'm also biased as well.
No, I like that you're biased. They win and win well. Now, this is an interesting stance you've taken.
I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to back myself.
Yeah, I think that's good because I'm actually going the other direction. I think we've tipped equal this entire time so far. So let's mix it up.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Yeah. So for this game, so Jason Saab is missing for Manly. He's, I believe, got maybe a hamstring-ish injury. So he's gone for 6 weeks around about. So former Tiger Tommy Talau replaces him. In fantasy circles known as absolute pure mud, this player. Meanwhile, the Roosters get a good winger, Dominic Young, back from his neck injury that he suffered in the trials. He's the big off-season recruit along with Spencer. So I'm keen to see how he goes in that system. He's, I believe, maybe the tallest player in the league, maybe just after Nelson Asafa-Solomona. Also, Ria Hargraves is back from suspension. He's a straight swap. Leniu's out. Ria Hargraves is in. As I said earlier, I think this is the toughest game of the round to tip for me. Both teams look hot, but I do like the Luke Brooks rise from the ashes Phoenix story, which I am clinging to, my Manly top 4 tip. So I'm going to say Manly win on the back of a Cherry Evans field goal. I say it's 1 point win. Mike is also on Manly for this game.
I couldn't deal with the stress of field goal winning. You fucking retard.
I tell you what, Sam Walker's a great field goal specialist. He's actually kicked quite a few. You got a good player there to kick him, but that's my tip. I'll say Manly win at home by 1 point. You're going the Roosters. It should be a good game. I'm very keen to watch it. And the last game of the week is the Dolphins hosting the St. George Illawarra Dragons at KO Stadium. Now, Wayne Bennett has actually made a pretty big call for this game. So after getting smoked by the the Cowboys in round 1, he's decided to drop Sean O'Sullivan as halfback and replace him with Isaiah Katoa alongside Cody Nikorima. Also, Avarillo comes in. He plays his first game for the club at centre. So Tessie New's been dropped. And they've got 2 injuries. Lemuelu and Stone are both out injured. So Ewan Aitken goes to the edge. Max Plath goes to lock. And for the Dragons, Luciano Leilua has been named on the bench. I think he was suspended for 1 game. So apart from that, they're basically the same. For me, this is an easy one to tip. Do you agree?
Sorry, who have you tipped?
I'm tipping the Dragons. I think they're starting hot as they usually do. Meanwhile, the Dolphins got thumped, and now they're changing their halves. I got to go with Dragons here. I think they're more stable.
You know what? You're right. I'm changing to the Dragons too.
Oh, you were on Dolphins. That could have been this might be your bogey team. Dolphins win now that you've flipped.
Well, I think it's going to be Dolphins. That's if if I'd have said it earlier, I would have said the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm flipping and dipping, boys.
Yep, going Dragons. Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, sorry, go on.
With you know how you mathematically, if you've got 3 things and you got to choose 1 from 3, and you say choose 1 and it's wrong, and then you're given the choice for the next choice to switch, you're better off switching and sticking with your original one. Like mathematically, somehow that's the thing. Have you heard of this?
Wait, what are you talking about? So you've got 3 options and you choose 1.
You choose 1.
Yep, and it's incorrect.
And then it's incorrect. And you get 1 more choice, right?
Out of the remaining 2?
Out of the remaining 2, you have a better chance if you switch, if given the choice to stick with your original one or switch, than sticking.
But the original one is incorrect, so it's gone, right?
Yeah. So.
I'm confused.
Oh wait.
I think maybe you've not explained this correctly.
I've completely fucked this up. If anybody knows, let us know. No, this is it. This is it.
Is this it? Okay.
I remembered it. I remembered it now. Okay. You're given 3 boxes.
3 boxes. Yeah.
And there's a prize in one, say. You want the prize. You pick a box. So say you pick number 1, right?
Yeah, picking this one.
And then and then they say they open another box, either 2 or 3, and show you there's nothing in number 3. So you've got a chance now. You've got your one you're still on,
okay,
or the other one, or number 2.
Yep.
So you can put one of them down because you're down to 2.
Yeah. So,
and then now you're given the choice. Do you want to stick with your original one or switch? And switching is a better choice.
I see. And why does that work out?
I have no idea.
I see. Well, thank you for bringing it up. Rugby League history, or anyone else, if you know the answer to this riddle, why it is mathematically a better choice, let us know down in the comments. We'd love to know. By the way, Mike also gave me a tip. This is the only one he actually wrote a sentence for. He's tipping the Dragons, but he's not happy about it. And I feel you, Mike. I feel you. Also, he did also give me a tip for the actual secret final game of the round, which is the Titans versus the Bye.
Oh shit, I forgot about them.
And he believes that the Bye is going to win 13+. We didn't speak about it. I'm not sure if you watched that game of the Dragons versus the Titans, but I thought the Titans were the worst team of the whole weekend. They were dreadful in attack, in particular. It was quite embarrassing. Like the first half,
they're going to get the spoon based on that.
I think it's a little bit too early, but they didn't look good. They didn't look good. Like just lacking absolute creativity. I don't know what's going on. They've got a bye, so you've got 2 weeks to get their shit together.
If the Gold Coast brought out another team, would you support them?
No, I think
Would
I'd
you
always be
switch?
Titans first. I would always be Titans first.
What if everything was cooler about them? Their brand appeal, their name, everything
Uh,
about them were like, oh, this was the team that I actually wanted. Would you
See,
like this?
Ben, I'm a very loyal guy. I'm a loyal man. I stick solid and stick true.
If your future wife um was bound to a wheelchair, would you push her around for the rest of your remaining lives?
As long as we are still in love with each other and we are a good fit for each other, then yes.
That's so dog to dump your wheelchair wife, dude.
Well, that's the thing. I think it doesn't matter whether she's in a wheelchair or not, as long as you are the best, you're right, the right fit. You know what I mean? If you're in love with each other, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what if it makes her sour? What if it changes who she was? It makes her into a person
Yeah,
that you find it hard to keep loving.
good question. If she changes as a person to the point where we're no longer compatible and we cannot love each other, and where the bad then outweighs the good, then I think it would be a good idea if we did break up.
And you would never throw at her at the end of the argument like, "Oh, and you're also in a wheelchair," as you're
No,
walking out the door.
no, I would never. That is not going to win you an argument. That's going to lose you an
Not
argument.
only have you become a bitch.
No. Great question though. I like that question. So we need to get to some comments.
Yeah. Do you want to read out the tips first?
Oh, sure. We'll do a quick little recap.
Okay.
So let me go back up to the top here. So Broncos, Rabbitohs, I think we're all on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Sharks, Bulldogs, we're all on the Sharks.
Yeah.
Panthers, Eels, we are all on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Raiders, Tigers, we're all on the Raiders.
Okay.
Cowboys, Knights. I believe that me and you are on the Cowboys and Mike is on the Knights.
Mm.
Storm Warriors, I believe we're all on the Storm. Sea Eagles, Roosters, you are on the Roosters. Mike and I are on the Manly Sea Eagles. And for the final game, Dolphins, Dragons, we are all on the Dragons.
Mm.
That's the quick recap for anyone who's used the chapters on YouTube to skip ahead and wants to now watch another video. But I really hope you stay, because we've got some fun comments to read out from last week's video. As a reminder, if you're new here, if you leave a comment, we will read it out. I don't care what you say. You could say some absolutely heinous shit. We will read it out and we will laugh about it.
No, we have a line. We have a line. If somebody is just projecting pure hate speech, we can't say those.
If we haven't found the line yet. So if you want to help us find the line,
help us establish a line.
Help us establish the line. I want to know what it is, because we've said some crazy shit before. Okay, so as always, Rugby League History has written in, shout out to you, Rugby League History. Here's what he commented. I remember when David Kidwell tripped over one of his children's toys at home and did his knee. He were out for the season, and it was his first year at Souths. It were kind of embarrassing because he had signed on as one of their marquee players. So this is when last week we were talking about Cameron Munster slipping in the shower. He also writes, I read a rumor once that Marilyn Manson removed 2 of his ribs so he could suck himself off. I mean, that's just a classic urban legend that anyone who goes to school hears.
I'm still stuck on his usage of the word.
Yeah, he were out for the season. He's speaking in his accent, his dialect.
I was, he was, she was, they were, we were, you were.
He were out for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. One phrase which I do like, which I know a lot of people in the UK say, is I was sat outside. Not I was sitting outside. I was sat outside. I like that phrase.
I like to say, in it.
Oh, you like the in it?
In it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's bloody fucking, it's rank outside, isn't it?
Yeah. I was sat outside and it was bloody rank out there, innit?
Isn't it?
Great accents, Rugby History Radar accents. History of Football writes, Matt and Mike will both live long, healthy lives, but I am not so sure about Ben, though.
Well, who wrote that?
History of Football. Do you have a rebuttal, sir? He does not believe that you will live a long, healthy life.
I think I'm going to live a very unhealthy life, but a very long one. I'm going
A
to just,
long, unhealthy life.
yeah, yeah. You guys are going to be
Yeah.
like, how has he done this to his body and he's outliving us?
Yeah. You don't want to live a short, healthy life because then you're like, fuck, I did everything right. And then they just got gypped.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
at least you get all the benefits of 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 doing what you want. You just don't get to
Mm,
do it for very long.
yeah. Good point. So we've got a comment here from Harry. He says, Ben writing a manifesto with a monkey covering his ears. So this is in, I believe, response to your comments about Spencer Leniu last
That
week.
guy, Harry's just gone way too far off the wall, dude. He's lost touch with reality. Sorry,
He
brother.
has? Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think he's generally a upstanding citizen. He did
Great
absolutely
guy.
absolutely robbed me in the Pokemon Draft League semifinals, but that's neither here nor there.
I didn't bring his character into question. Great guy.
Yeah.
Just fucking gone a bit wild with those opinions.
Our fourth comment, speaking of wild opinions,
Love
is
you,
from
Harry.
a returning viewer. Adam Garreau is back. He's
Oh
left a comment.
no.
He writes again.
Here we go. Let me guess before you say. He said use, correct?
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Is there a use in there?
There's 100% a used in here. So this is speaking of people who speak and how they write, how they speak. He says, "Fuck yous are still going. Is Ben racist or just a Chooks fan?" Would you like to clear this up for the viewers?
I'm just a Chooks fan, brother.
Yeah. Well, thanks for commenting, Adam Grow. Was happy to have you back. Now, my dear friend Benjamin Jonathan Sternathan, do you have a new hypothetical for us? I know you dropped one earlier, but
yeah,
do you have another one?
Can we pause the video here?
Pause.
Okay. Because I'm going to take like a while to think about this, and I don't want everyone to just wait around. Can you just edit out this whole waiting bit? But keeping this bit about me asking to have us wait. And then people will watch this.
You let me know when I'm ready to unpause. I'll say unpause. Okay, unpause. I've got the hypothetical. Benjamin, if you started a band, what would your band be called?
Man, I thought about this, and I have a band name. I've thought of a few over the years, but the one I wanted, I checked, and somebody already took it. Or sort of, took a variation of it. I liked the idea of Purple Rubber Band.
Purple Rubber Band.
Yeah, but somebody's played on that thing before.
Oh, really? I see.
Yeah.
Why Purple Rubber Band? Does it have a specific meaning, or you just
no, it's just got the word band in it.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Well, actually, I have a list of band names that I keep whenever I hear something or think of something funny or hear something that someone else has said. One time, I believe we were watching a Titans game and we were watching Tino for Sua'ali'i get into his work, and the phrase "the looming Tinos" came up in conversation. I think that's a pretty hot name for a rugby league related band.
What was it called?
The Looming Tinos.
I don't like it. They sound like
you don't like it.
Sound like some like cruise ship band, or just like doing like the very low ticket circuits.
Yeah, well, listen, even cruise ships need music, as you know.
Dude, I saw one of the best shows on the cruise ship. Was Blanc de Blanc on the cruise when you went?
Yes, it was.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
You should have paid the $30.
I was told it was
the guy that was doing it that night reminded me of you too. He looked just like you.
Oh.
So, spoiler alert for anyone that's going to go, but basically it started off with this guy talking and doing all this stuff at the front of the stage, and it was about 5 minutes in where I realized this is the start of the show. So he's walked out. I didn't realize, but his testicles had been hanging out the entire time.
Oh.
From
so usually you pick that up.
Perfectly dressed, nice clothes, but testicles hanging, just flopped out.
Yep.
And it was talking for several minutes before I realized Meanwhile, once the attention was brought to that, he's started like gone into the audience and putting his balls in everybody's faces, like big men, like everybody.
Yep.
That was just the start of the show, and it gets more depraved from there. Highly couldn't speak more highly about it. It was, I'd say, tastefully fucked up.
Tastefully
was-
fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that my grandparents, who not into that sort of thing, they went and watched it. They had to leave like 5 minutes in.
Yeah. There were two women that left that left within 10 minutes or so. They're just like, no.
Not for everybody.
Not for everybody, but if it is for you, you'll love it. So don't be so uptight. Realize nothing really matters in this world. Go have fun.
Go have fun. Nothing matters. Go have fun.
If there's a girl at work that you've got a crush on, but you don't want to dip the pen in company ink, go do it. Fuck some shit up. Go do that thing where you're not quite sure you want to do it, but you know you got to do it.
Does this have something to do with your moral quandary we were talking about earlier, Ben?
What, about asking a girl out?
Yeah, at work.
Have you? I don't believe in pickup lines.
I don't believe in deflection. Yeah, cool. Go on. I'm just saying that the deflection has been noted.
Deflection noted. Yeah, you have the chance to bring it all back. Don't worry. Do you have? Give me your best pickup line and your worst pickup line.
Ooh, in person pickup lines.
Yeah.
I honestly think the best pickup line is just something super simple, and it's not anything like fancy. It's not some special line. It's nothing like that. It's basically you see the girl out, right? And you basically just approach her, not from the back, from the front. And you basically say, hey, I like your insert blank. You know what I mean? Like, I like your jacket. I like your necklace. I like your shoes. And then you just start the conversation like that.
Yeah. Well, I have a similar strategy, but mine's a bit flipped. I'll walk straight up to them and compliment myself. So I'll just walk in. I'll say, I've got beautiful eyes. All right.
I see. You walk. So I'm the girl drinking my drink, and you walk up to me, and I've looked at you, and you say, I've got beautiful. Okay, sorry. Go on. You approach me. Sorry.
God, I've got beautiful eyes. Just fucking. You have beautiful eyes. That can we read?
That's not working for me, man. That's not gonna work.
You're not wet? You're not wet?
Is this what you asked the girl?
You're not semi-hard right now?
Is it? Do you ask the girl if they like, are you wet yet? Are you wet?
Yeah, this is still part of it. I haven't stopped.
Okay. Do you want to do it again, or like was that the best you got?
You wet yet?
That's good, man. That's good. I prefer mine personally.
What is what's more embarrassing, do you reckon? For a girl to be asked, are you wet yet? Or for a guy to be asked, are you hard yet?
I think a guy to be asked if they're hard yet. Because girls, it's like you ask them if they're wet yet. It's really not, in general, like their fault if they're not wet yet. Generally, you need to be kind of like,
it's your fault.
You need to be creating the wetness.
You can't just go straight raw dog that.
Yeah. I think if you're a guy, then it's like, are you hard yet? Then it's like, oh shit, like now I'm like, I should be hard. Like you're getting like performance anxiety. And then the more you think about it, the less likely you are to get hard. You know what I mean? I tell you what, this episode has gone on too long for two men. Let's do a thumbnail.
Do a thumbie?
Let's do a thumbie. I know earlier we were talking about moral quandary, so maybe I'm going to be quandering something. What are you going to do?
I'm going to put about 15 cigarettes in my mouth at once.
Okay. Yeah, you good? Okay, are we ready to go? All right, here we go. Yeah, I think there's a good one in there somewhere.
Do you just
Benjamin.
pause it? Like, do you get the thumbnail for both of us from the same moment in time, or do you just find the best moment in time for each person and screenshot it?
I find the best moment in time for each person. Yeah, the best screenshot. Ben, would you like to take us out?
Oh, wow. Okay. An official takeout? I feel like this was an unofficial episode. A good episode, unofficial though.
Yeah, it's not regulation, but it needed to be done.
You're right. It's like playing your first game in Vegas, then having those teams play each other the next week. It's not part of it, but here we go.
Yeah, take us out, Ben.
Matt's been Matt, Ben's been Ben. We have not had Mike today, which has been absolutely pleasant. Zero forcing to the house, all circ Nash. Thank you very much. Go fuck yourselves. Like, subscribe, and put a comment in if you have any requests for us to do next week, or you have any opinions based on today's episode. Blah, 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 blah. Go fuck yourself. God, I've got beautiful eyes. Just fucking. You have beautiful eyes. That can we
That's not working for me, man.